Is that you on there, Julie?
That's me.
All right, so you're logged in and...
Yeah, it worked.
Perfect. Okay, so let's open the meeting for the Fayston Selectboard for Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Robert Vassar Town Hall. First item on the agenda, well, maybe we should go around and introduce ourselves since we got quite a few people here. So I'm Chuck Martell, Chair of the Select Board. I'll go to Josh here.
Josh Livingston, Road Foreman.
Mike Jordan, Select Board.
Ron Graves, Select Board.
Eve Silverman, minutes. Sarah Stavrecki, treasurer.
Jim?
Dr. Sloan.
I'm Rohan Press with Friends of Mad River.
I'm Irish Addis, I'm the director of Friends of Mad River.
Julie Frost, Friends of Mad River.
And Brian Evans, Fayston Conservation.
All right, and we have Mad River TV with us tonight. Okay, the first item on the agenda is to approve the Select Board meeting minutes from February 10th, 2026. Everyone have a chance to review those?
Did.
They're looking good?
Yep.
All right, may I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mike.
I'll second.
Ron. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, those minutes are approved. I'll have to sign those, I guess.
Sorry, Chuck, those were budget meeting or general meeting?
That was a Select Board meeting. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Next item is to approve the Select Board employee review minutes from February 10th, 2026. Everyone have a chance to look at those?
Yep.
They look good. We have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Mike, second, Ron?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, those minutes are approved. I'll sign those. Thank you again. Okay, next item is additions and deletions to the agenda, and I've got a couple. We want to talk about, under other business, the Boyce Hill trees and taking those down. We have a recommendation from Passive, who is our insurer, that we should take a look at those. I actually have them taken down. And Mike, I think you had suggested that earlier anyway, so we can talk about that under other business. And then also, I noticed we didn't have Josh down on the agenda, and I asked him to come join us tonight, so we'll do the road foreman review under other business as well. Next item is public comments. Anyone here for anything other than your piece of the business tonight? No? Okay, seeing none. We'll move along to Friends of the Mad River. Ira and Julie, I think you're going to run the show here?
Yeah. Would you rather us come up to the table? Is that...
If you'd like, sure. Come join us.
It's going to take just a second.
Yeah.
Also, could I get Ira and Rohan's last name, please?
Yeah, my last name is Press, P-R-E-S-S. Yes.
And
Shaddis, S-H-A-D-I-S.
Thanks for your patience. Just getting
Ira, you want to?
I'll sit back there. Julie's going to be the one. My part of this is pretty simple. I introduced myself already. I'm the director of the organization. I've been in that role since effectively late 2022, but formally since early 2023. I was with Friends since 2018 before that. And we've just been cooking up this idea to deliver these road shows to sort of reconnect with the leadership across the towns to explore opportunities for us to collaborate. And that's really the handoff to Julie, who has put together a wonderful slide deck to sort of show where we've been, where we are now, what our capacity is, and where we hope to go together.
Okay.
So that's
Thank you.
Julie's show.
Welcome, Julie.
Thank you, thank you. Let me see if, I think we made all the technology work. Let's see. Aha, look at that.
Look at that.
All right. Okay, thanks everyone. Yeah, I'm Julie Frost. Thanks Chuck. Thanks everyone for having us here. Super excited to meet everybody and see everybody in person despite my being a little bit slow tonight. So I am going to follow my notes because I want to try to stick to the time frame that you've given us. And if I don't stick to my notes, I'll just go rogue. So bear with me on that. I want to start with this, which is, you know, our communities are where they are because of the river. And we are recognizing the 15th anniversary of Tropical Storm Irene this year. And since then, we've had more unprecedented floods, we've had development and habitat changes, and this is all with escalating climate change. And I know climate change was something that was really mentioned quite a bit in the hazard risk mitigation plan that Fayston has. And so we're asking the question, how do we live well with the river? What do we need from the river? And also, what does the river need from us so that we can thrive together? So I'm here to take you through a brief slide deck. It's kind of a journey to reintroduce ourselves at Friends of the Mad River, share what we've done, hopefully some things that really look familiar to a lot of people, what we're up to now, and in the end, essentially, just end with an ask about how to collaboration. And that's really specifically about me in this new role that I'm going to talk to you about, and our increased capacity as an organization to partner with the towns to prioritize projects. So very simple agenda: core values, core focus, capacity, community engagement, collaboration. We'll take a look at these 5 areas, and we're here today. I just want to stress we're here today because we really want to partner with the town boards and commissions to engage more directly in our work with us and us with you for project planning, prioritization, attending the events that we host with the community, and also thinking about ways that we together can learn from other communities. All right, so our core values, we have just hit our 35th year as an organization, if you can believe that. And we're really doubling down on these core values, which are to learn, conserve, and celebrate at the watershed scale. So we continue to approach our mission with a real diversity of pathways, and we're going to talk about that diversity quite a bit tonight. We know that these core values from Friends are shared values with our town officials and our boards and our community at large. And so we just really are inviting everyone to lean in and take action and collaborate with us. All right, so I'll share some of the ways that we've been engaging with the community, and I'm hoping that this looks familiar to a bunch of you. So after Tropical Storm Irene, our previous executive director, Corey Miller, working with a lot of groups across the valley, brought the community together in what was called Ridge to River, a 2-year strategic planning process, 2015-2016, that resulted in an action framework to guide landowners in stewardship. And I know that this specifically was mentioned again in your 2024 hazard risk mitigation plan. And this is very much still, an active framework to work from. And yeah, there's a little delay there. We've worked with a lot of the towns on projects like culvert replacements for aquatic habitat, flood resilience, stormwater mitigations for road gullies, rain gardens, and of course a lot of tree plantings up and down our streams and river. And then we also have a cohort of about 20 volunteers that monitor 23 sites along the MAD, gathering really critical scientific data, which we know is especially important now with our warming waters due to climate change, and also with development, so monitoring our water quality there. So our staff and board together worked with a consultant in 2024 to build out a strategic roadmap for the organization, and really asking the big questions like, what should we be doing for our communities? What does staffing and partnership look like to make that happen? So I'm here to tell you that we've been growing our board. Our board has grown. I'm here in this role talking to you all about collaborations. And those are the specific examples of putting our strategic framework into action. And the framework has just been our guiding light, orienting us to actions that are aimed at having a whole community that is ecologically and environmentally resilient in a changing climate. So we'll highlight our program areas and our projects. We'll go into some of these a little bit more in the next couple of slides. Our program areas, these are our core programs. They are the various ways that we're serving the community, and pretty much everything that we do falls into one of these 5 buckets over here. I'll just say really quickly that landowner engagement is that direct engagement with private landowners can often result in smaller scale projects of implementing buffer plantings or helping with some sort of restoration of maybe a stream on their property. And we find that that's really important as part of that, empowerment and educating and growing a coalition, across our private landowners across the valley and across the watershed. And then watershed restoration is the bucket that we mean of larger projects, and those are the ones that we're kind of talking about today, like partnering with the towns, things that are a bit larger scale watershed ecological restoration projects. And so on that note, watershed restoration are these 4 current large projects that I wanted to highlight on the right. These are over the span of, or these are grant funded through, mostly through 2027. Those 4 total up about $350,000. We have a lot of other grant awards as well that supplement this, but wanted to focus on these 4 as we talk about large projects. And so these 4 projects, across these 4 in partnerships with the towns, we're hoping to aim to move forward several culvert replacement projects on municipal roads. And I know that was talked about in a recent select board meeting, a couple of culvert replacements that are happening on Sharpshooter and Center Fayston. Right. And so maybe identifying more of those and working with you on those kinds of things. So the second one is to identify priority projects from a suite of what we know of previous scoping efforts. And then we are making this geospatial database, which is just going to be this amazing tool for helping us identify, scope, track, and implement projects across a pipeline. And then the last one is that we are developing and launching our own native plant nursery right here in the valley. We're really excited about. So I'll touch on that just a little bit more as well. But I just want to highlight, like when we talk about large projects, we're thinking about those culverts that are identified in the LHMPs, thinking about the Chase Brook Stormwater Master Plan and opportunities like Mount Ellen's parking areas and all of that sediment outwash and things like that. So some ticklers there for those ideas. Yeah, all right, so we have been growing. The first decade or so, Friends was all volunteer. We had our first ED in 2014, that was Corey Miller. And then you see here, Ira became the executive director in 2022, and then we hired in Luke Foley, some people may know, in 2023. We had 2 AmeriCorps members, 2 years back to back, and then I joined middle of last year. Our newest AmeriCorps member, who is here with us tonight, Rohan. And then just in the last couple of weeks, we've hired in our new native plant nursery coordinator, super exciting, and she is just hitting it with connecting with lots of people in the area to figure out how we're going to launch this nursery. So this is a lot of growth in a very short period of time, and it's precisely by design of our strategic visioning that we worked on. So we have this, new, really wonderful capacity to work with the towns and to really engage with the community on the diversity of ways that we aim to.
Question, Julie, so the AmeriCorps members, they work for Friends directly?
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want to go into that anymore? But yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, we can get into the weeds on that, but yeah.
Yeah, just curious, yeah, okay.
Yeah, AmeriCorps is a nationwide program.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of AmeriCorps across the state.
There's quite a few across the state, maybe like 25 of us.
Yeah.
So we're paid by federal government essentially,
Okay.
but we work specifically with our organization.
Okay.
outside organization.
Thank you.
So Rohan is full-time for this entire year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's 5 of us now, whereas generally, up until a few years ago, there was generally only one, maybe 1.5 people at Friends. So community engagement. So this is really a lot of what Luke has built out in the last couple of years, and what Rohan is working with Luke on. We've significantly increased our presence and impact in the community for education, connection, opportunities to volunteer, and I'll just throw it out there. So across the 12 months of 2025, anyone want to guess how many events we were able to pull off? A random guess?
Not a clue.
24 events in 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've really doubled down on that. These are events where we partner with libraries and rec groups and schools and landowners and businesses all around the valley. And we're, as I've mentioned a couple times, we're really focused on offering a diversity of things like citizen science to having fun together in this amazing place that we get to call home. So some examples are an expert series that has place-based experiential learning opportunities for the public. We have a climate and ecology book club. We are in every school in the watershed. This school year, we're reaching 600 students with 19 teachers, and that includes 3 service learning opportunities and 3 professional development opportunities for teachers in the summer, and then service learning opportunities for the kids. So really, really robust school program that we've got going. And then we hold recreational events such as Climate for Climate. That's a partnership with Sugar Bush and MRV BC, the Backcountry Coalition. And River Fire, you see there pictured. And we're also helping one of the core organizations that helped to bring back the Mad River Triathlon. We've been part of the CRV, which is the Conservation Recreation Visioning Initiative. So this is another big area that we're involved in. And, building the coalition is fundamental, we see, as, to protecting the health of the watershed and bringing in as many voices as we can, which also then, in turn, empowers those folks to figure out what role and what action can they play. All right, so we'll take a little paddle here. I'll show you how we see navigating with key partners such as yourselves. So this is the watershed towns, the conservation commissions, the planning commissions. We work very closely with CVRPC and the Clean Water Service provider, and obviously state DEC. And it includes a bunch of different project types, and don't let me forget, I have a handout to leave with you all, which has these project types and examples of them that we've been involved in over the last decade or so. So it's project types like roads and gullies, replacing culverts, planting riparian buffers, restoring wetlands, improving stormwater infrastructure. So this path that we see started with our strategic framework that I mentioned earlier, building our capacity, so that's me in this role. And what we've been doing so far is we've been really getting a handle on the previous scoping efforts that we know of. So there's a list of a whole bunch of examples of where we can pull information of projects, at least initially being identified as potentially good ecological or river restoration projects, river and stream restoration projects. So that brings us to these road shows. So we kind of wanted to sort of pause at that point and say, you know what, we really need to build the relationships with some key partners and specifically with the towns. And then we want to move forward with really getting into project identification and development, which is my role specifically. So this is what I'll be focused on, but don't want to do it in a vacuum. And so prioritization with the towns. So what's important to the towns? What can we work on together? What can I take back and lead and drive forward? So that in the end, our goal is to partner for transparent, efficient, and successful projects, and just try to build a pipeline and get more of them through. So that's it. So as a conclusion, I'll just say our ask is, how can we partner better with the Fayston Selectboard and other boards as well, Planning Commission, Conservation Commission, et cetera. We're happy to go to different groups and talk and present this again. How can we, is there a best point of contact for the ongoing work that we want to do for project scoping and prioritization? How can we best share news and events and engage with you to bring you into the events that we're planning and learning with the community? and how can we make sure that we keep this up and keep up a good dialogue. Yeah, so this is my new role. We have this capacity. We're really excited about it, so that's why we're here.
All right. Do you have any open projects from for Fayston? Corey was working on a couple of things a few years ago, right? I'm thinking of Murphy Road there. There was a culvert project that she was working on, and there was one other one besides that comes to mind. And do you have a list of those that?
Yeah, this.
I don't know what happened to those, and we haven't budgeted for them in the last couple of budget sessions, but
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I think one of the things you may be referring to is this project here, the aquatic organism passage. So that's essentially culvert replacements. And
Yeah.
it's identifying culverts that are a barrier to brook trout being able to move upstream into the colder headwaters. So that may be what, I know that's Corey's area. So I would
Yeah,
assume
I guess
so.
I would say when Corey left, there was nothing other than Lockwood Brook that was an open and
Okay.
active project. So it's very likely that the stuff you're referring to is sitting on a list somewhere, but there's no, early design work or anything like
Okay.
that for it.
So that list is exactly what this piece is me going through all of the past start of scoping and identification and getting a handle on those and saying, oh, are those still good things to go after? Are those still important? Did it change with the recent floods? Did it already get replaced? And so now we need to be working with you all to understand what does your list look like and where's the overlap between what you need for, better flood resiliency and road infrastructure and what are we seeing as a great opportunity for things like, definitely flood and climate resiliency, but also aquatic organism passage. Yeah.
The only one that comes to mind that I really remember is Murphy Road,
I think we
where
looked
it
at
comes
Murphy
into
Road
Center
on
Fayston there, across from,
Right next to Shepherd's Brook.
yeah, right,
By the
French
bridge.
Brook there, Shepherd's, yeah.
I think it's on my list.
Yeah.
I have a list that I inherited and I'm sort of expanding on.
Yeah.
But we went out with an expert from Fish and Wildlife for my training to learn to assess culverts, and I'm pretty sure that we looked at Murphy Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the detention basin, though?
Yes.
There was
Yes.
3 of them. There was
Yeah.
the Murphy Road one, then the one by Dorothy Langevin.
Yes, yeah.
That's likely connected then to the stormwater master plan, another one of these lists. It's a little different than the
Yeah.
aquatic organism passage stuff, but yeah, I think like in some ways when we think about the best point of contact question, it's like, who can we sit down with and scour this list together? We're doing our, legwork to get it as updated as possible, but at some point, we need to cross you all.
Yeah. Well, I think, Brian, probably the Conservation Commission would be one, the Select Board would be another, right? As far as contacts for projects that they're working on?
I think the Conservation Commission would be happy to serve any role to help facilitate. So if that means me meeting with whoever it is, with you all, so because I know you guys have plenty going on, and so I'm happy to serve in that role to kind of be a liaison and moving things. I don't know the road projects, I don't know what the priorities are, as far as culverts, but if there's a way, I'm happy to jump into that to help facilitate.
Okay, okay. And I don't think we've got anything on our list right now other than the 2 FEMA projects that we're working on, right? Center Fayston Road and Sharpshooter.
I think we actually pulled the one in North Fayston up, right? And replaced it with a bigger culvert so that we can get wildlife.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be great, because that may be something that's still on our list that we don't know has already been upgraded. Yeah.
Right next to Woody's house.
Yeah, right by Boyce Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you for coming.
And we will reconnect and reach back out and try to keep this going.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you all. All right, so we'll move on to our next item, which you get
Yeah.
disconnected here.
I think I am. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Jim, tax payment installments.
Yeah.
You're up next.
Okay, all right, well, thanks for the time tonight to come and talk with everybody. And it's kind of common sense to me, but I think everyone's quite aware of recent sales tax increases, putting more financial burden on everybody and all Vermonters. People talk about affordability, but the system that's in place seems to be a little counterproductive to me, to these goals. But it's just my opinion. And I think the town does a great job with its taxes, I must say, with what you have going on here. So to relieve some of the financial stress on everybody, I wondered if it suggests that the change from an annual payment to a quarterly payment for taxes. Some of the other familiar towns nearby do this, 4 quarterly payments rather than 1 payment. With an annual payment system, people on tight budgets, just went into it, trying to gather all that money up for a year and get a major car repair, new heating system, a health incident can really add to the stress of the taxpayer in Vermont out there for sure. People are living on tight budgets. Quarterly system isn't in place for other local towns. I believe it would be an advantage for Fayston. Increase the cash flow for quarterly receipts could help the town pay down operating expenses and possibly pay down debt and any other obligations that we have here in town. I'm not really versed on the finances of the town, but of course people with mortgages would be less affected. Maybe I should have not paid my mortgage off years ago because it goes to escrow every month. But the people without mortgages, the ever-increasing burden of that larger and larger annual payment is certainly an issue of affordability for all Vermonters. And I am aware that this change would take time and effort from town hall, and possibly a change or addendum to the town charter. I think that's where it lies. It states that it's just a 1 payment once a year. I think it's in the town charter. But I do think this should be considered due to the change in economics of the present day that we have going on here. So,
That's interesting, a charter change, because I was first thinking it'd have to be a vote at town meeting.
Yeah.
But you've done some research and it's a charter change?
I remember I discussed this with Patty Lewis years ago.
Yep.
And that was her response right there. You really have to go back to the town charter.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not quite sure.
So I'm just, I see one, I've been thinking about it since I saw it was on the agenda. I see a roadblock, so we can't actually set the tax rate until the first week in July, is that right, roughly?
Yeah.
So to have, and the end of our year is December 31st, so quarterly tax payments, you can't make you'd have to make your first quarterly tax payment, which would be March 15th, but without a tax bill, we can't take a payment.
What's been done, I know what Wakefield does is they estimate it.
No, what they do is they're on a different fiscal year. They have a different fiscal year.
Yeah.
They're from July 1 to June 30th.
And I think
Yeah.
So that's the way they can do that. But they still have to come up with their budget for town meeting based on 6 months' worth of expenses.
Right.
Right? So they're still held to the same dates we are.
Okay.
And yet they're only working with 6 months' worth of data, where we're usually working with almost 12 months. We're pretty close to it. So I think I think it's going to go through the town change anyway, but I don't know how we could do quarterly payments with only 6 months left to pay.
Yeah. So by the time the bills go out, they're usually due in August sometime, mid to late August.
Right, then they're late by.
They're late
Right.
after November 1st, so you've only got that small time frame there in order to pay the bill. I don't know how you
And we work on our cash flow until then.
Yeah.
There are people that prepay their
Yeah.
taxes.
Can you prepay?
Yeah.
You can?
Yes. Yeah.
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 So that could be an alternative. Just prepay. Prepay an estimated tax.
Very financially disciplined. Some of these people, I would say.
I think that might be a difficult aspect to it, is because then you'd be chasing people on a quarterly basis as opposed to an annual basis. So you'd probably increase the number of people that you're chasing by 4.
Having interest and late fees?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Because are you doing interest and late fees on the quarterly payment?
Because we
or-
pay, I pay some taxes in Waitsfield, and that's the only town I know of that does quarterlies in this area. I think Moortown and Warren both do, are on the fiscal year, right? And so they just give you coupons, but if
Right.
you pay late, they have to send out another bill with interest. It definitely would create If people are going to pay late, it's definitely more work for the town.
I would think that quarterlies would be easier to pay because the dollar amount isn't so high.
We find that people that
That's the thought that I had.
are delinquent are the same ones every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, so.
I don't know, it could be a discussion at town meeting to see what people think.
Yep.
You know, the general,
Yeah, I talked to some people around town.
yeah, I mean, but you probably get a good share of people at town meeting that really care about the town.
Yeah. Will you be at town meeting? Because one of the articles is, and it's on every year, is when payments are due. And it goes into the whole situation about they're due 30 days from receipt, and then they become overdue after November 1st, and all of that wording gets voted on, and that would be, I think, Rick, an appropriate time to bring up what you're suggesting.
So, to summarize this, you're saying you would have to change your fiscal year first, so that you'd be more in line with...
Well,
I don't even know how Waitsfield,
I think that's what Waitsfield did.
They had to,
They
yeah.
went to 4 payments. They switched to a fiscal year, and then I think they had to vote on 2 budgets. They had to
Right.
vote on a 6-month budget.
budget and then a year.
a new
yeah.
fiscal year budget, so that they could do the quarterly payments.
okay.
Yeah.
Sarah's our treasurer, you know that.
Yeah.
When you came in, I started thinking about it.
All knowing over there.
Not even close, no. But you got me thinking about it, and I think we'd have to go on the fiscal year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because, the tax number gets...
right, it makes no
bigger
sense
every
if you
year.
don't.
yeah.
What are we this year? Over 10% again?
Sorry,
What's the tax increase this year?
We don't know, because it's the state, and we won't know until probably July what the state rate is.
Yeah. The rumor is a double-digit education
I heard
tax.
10, 12.
Yeah,
I heard
Yeah.
12, so
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
I've had the house here 26 years now, so, I've seen the tax level and then
Yeah.
take off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
And it's a big number for a lot of
Yeah.
people, for sure.
But you're more than welcome to bring that up at town meeting. I think
Yeah.
that would be appropriate, have a discussion about that and see at least what the people at the meeting think about the whole
So this has been
situation.
helpful, knowing that the fiscal year and what's going on is how really you surround yourself with your payments and your income right now. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I reminded folks as moderator last year that part of the history of our payment at the end of the reaping season at farms in the fall is that's when a lot of people in Fayston have money to
Right.
pay their taxes.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
I'm not sure how historically accurate that's true. That's what I grew up on when I moved here.
Yeah. And it sounds good.
It sounds good. Status quo history.
Crops are in, everything's
Right.
settled in for Christmas, for winter.
And before you sell it on Christmas, spend it on Christmas presents.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which was probably all farm equipment. All right.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for,
Appreciate it, just a thought I had, trying to
Yeah.
make life easier for some people.
yeah.
Because it's a little stressful out there sometimes.
Yeah, many times.
All right, so,
All right, thank you, Jim.
yeah, you're welcome. Town meeting would be the appropriate next.
I think so, yeah. Just to get a feel for what the other folks at the meeting think, you
Yeah,
know?
sure.
In
Yeah,
terms of procedure, if you want to run it by me ahead of time, I'm happy to from Robert's rules.
That's what I was just going to say. I've known Rick for quite a few years too now.
Yeah.
So, I could overcome something help you.
If you
okay.
have an idea how you're going to do it, I go, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
You got more agenda here, so,
Yes,
yeah, have a good evening.
okay, you do the same. Speaking of which, next item on the agenda is to review the town meeting warning with Mr. Rayfield.
Shocking. Thank you up to the table.
You should, thank you.
Mike, where do you come from?
What are we gonna do? First of all, we have to get you elected.
Well, that's one good answer, but is there a list of the proposed agenda? Is that what Sarah's doing now?
Yep.
I'm gonna trade, I'm gonna give you that.
All right, and you break that, there we go. So when you said, what are we going to do, that's
This is
your
the-
question right there?
Right, yeah, that's what I was looking for, actually. This is the warning for the meeting?
Correct.
Does everyone have a copy?
Yeah.
Have access to a copy? Okay.
Yeah, we can keep that one, right? Yeah.
So it's just appropriate for us to look through this, and if we see something that's problematic in terms of procedure or timing, when people are going to be there. I do have a request from one of our state reps in Montpelier that they not have to wait until the end of the meeting when they show up halfway through the meeting. Is there some way we can tell them when they're going to fit in so they know when would be convenient? We'd like to have them show up.
You always offer to the
Usually,
people present
yeah.
that if it's okay with everyone, can we
I guess
have them?
last year they stood in the hallway waiting or something.
Oh,
so,
they should
yeah.
just
No,
come in, yeah.
This just came up 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay.
One of them stopped by the shop and said, is there something we can do so we don't have to stand there for so long? I said I would bring it up here since we're...
Yeah, I think whenever they arrive, like we've always done.
So go back to our standard procedure and just keep an eye out for them.
Right, Mike, Ron, what do you think? Yeah, I mean, but identify themselves so you know they're there.
Right, okay, so
yeah, then we can get them on.
I'll talk, when I get there, I'll talk to people who are at the front desk.
Okay.
And say that when our reps show up, let me know so I know to fit them in.
Yep.
And I'll let them know that they should ask to be fitted.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I don't think there's any problem with that, unless there's any, you're still the chair. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just.
This guy said, yes, do it.
Okay, good. Okay, we're good. Well, why don't we just walk through these and we'll just state what they are, and if someone's got a question or a suggestion. The warning's already gone out. Australian ballot warning is already fixed. We can't do anything about that.
Right.
First thing to do is to elect a moderator. My term expires.
Yeah, so I think like we've done in the past, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
that I'll have to do that part, right? I'll welcome everybody,
yeah.
do, regular where the restrooms are and coffee and all that
Okay.
other stuff, and then work into this first article.
Why don't, shall I bang the meeting order, or do you want to do your introduction first?
I could just do it first, right?
Okay, I'm thinking
Do you
that
have to
sounds,
officially bring it to order?
we do to start the articles.
And
But
the first article
but the
is you,
meeting-
so maybe you should officially do that, and then
Well, that's how we have done it, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, hey, folks, welcome, you've elected us as your select board, and we're here to report to you, and we've got some other business to conduct, so just in whatever pitch you want to make.
Yeah.
And then we can go into the official, and then say, actually, the first order of business is to elect a moderator.
Yeah.
And, Rick's term expires, so he can't run the meeting right now, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
With the nominations.
That
Just-
works.
Just bundle that, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
and
run.
then I'll introduce everybody that's at the front tables there
Sure.
as well,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that'll
Okay.
work.
So I don't have to ask who's who. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It just takes a little less time, and it's a little more friendly
Yeah.
to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then I will kick in and ask to hear on the acts of the town officers as Article 2.
Yep.
And do we have a list of who the officers are going to do that?
So I think Mike is going to do the financial report, but I don't think that will come up
That's in Article
until
10.
we get into the budget, right?
Okay.
Which is the way we've always done it in the past, I believe. I'll do the select board report, and I think Doug is planning on doing something for the listers, right?
He has in the past.
In the past, he has.
With the what?
Listers report,
Okay. Yeah.
and maybe I should talk to him about that, because I think it'd be appropriate for him to do it with everything that's going on with the CLA and
Okay.
the impact on taxes and all that other stuff, so I'll check with Doug to be sure.
Okay.
But I don't know of anyone else who we'd be doing any reports.
So I'll put a question mark to see if there's any that pop up in the next week
Yeah,
that we've forgotten about, or that someone put their hands in and say, wait a minute, how come no one asked me?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. And then we specifically need to elect town clerk.
Yeah.
Maddie's term expires, and Sarah's term expires, so we just need to, any contention that we know of? Any hint ahead of time, things we need, I mean, this would, so somebody's brand new in town, they're not a registered voter or something, can they run for office? So it would be nice to know if there's anyone ahead of time that we can make sure they're eligible to be nominated, and we can settle right then and there instead of saying, well, let's take 10 minutes while we go get on the phone and call the state's attorney or something.
Yeah, nobody's come forward on any of these.
So, yeah, so if we know of any offices that are likely to get more than one candidate, it'd be nice to know who they are in case there's someone who might not be eligible.
We don't need to call the state's attorney, we can figure out if they're
Okay.
registered to vote.
Pretty easy, yeah.
It's rare, but when it happens, it's a pain in the neck. It's a good time to take a coffee break. Delinquent tax collector. I assume all these people have been approved by the town clerk's office. I mean, they've been asked and they're running. That's how
Yes.
that's what I'm
That doesn't indicate that they're running, that just indicates whose term is up.
Oh, I see, got it. Well put, thank you. That's right, yeah, okay.
Who runs until town meeting day.
Right. And someone remind me, have we ever had trouble where we don't have someone who gets nominated because no one wants to do it?
Well, I think under Article 7, I don't think Kirsten is running again for Lister.
Correct. She does not want to run again.
So you just have to bypass it,
Just, if nobody
right, and
steps up,
then
then
becomes
there's
something
no
that we have to like appoint.
Yes, but somebody could be nominated from the floor.
Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're going to have to be anyway.
Yes.
Even if she were running again.
Yes, yeah.
Well, everybody has to get nominated.
Yes.
But he just wanted to be prepared to know.
So if we know ahead of time about an office that's going to be vacant or may be vacant, and we want to announce that before the meeting gets going, by the way, we're not aware of anyone who's running for these offices. And if you want to take a little time, when we take a break somewhere in here, or if we need to take a break, what all the offices are that we think we might need to fill. Okay, that could save some time down the road at the meeting. Okay. And that was Article 7. Article 7, and I'll put just pluses there.
And I think she's the only one, Rick, that is coming up for a vote, and, well, until we get to the school board, but.
That's Australian ballot.
Yeah, that's Australian, so, yeah.
There was a MailChimp announcement about the Lister position a couple weeks ago, actually, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a week ago.
I don't remember exactly, but yes, there was.
So presumably nobody has responded to that.
Yeah.
Well, we got another week. We'll see what happens, but I think it'd be smart near the beginning of the meeting, if possible, to give a preview of what offices might be open, so people can run to the phone and ask their husband if he's willing to take the spot. I mean, we've had things like this happen, and last year we had an airline pilot who couldn't, who was nominated, and
That was
2 years
that last year, that was the year
it was
before.
the year before.
Yeah.
And he's on the planning commission now.
Yeah. Right, so Article 6, Mike Jordan, Joe Kirsten, we're up number 8. Second constable.
I think Chris will run again.
Okay. Cemetery commissioner.
Candace, I'm pretty sure she'll go again, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're looking at Article 10. That might be interesting. Looks got a big number.
Did that say 1,000 or a million?
Is that 10,000?
Oh, 10,000? I'm like,
It's 1,000, Chuck.
some zeros missing.
Let's see, will a member of the select board be making that
What's that?
proposal? Or do we have someone in the audience that will just stand up and do it?
Well, you'll ask the question and then they'll vote, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so no one's going to speak to it.
Right. Well,
unless you get
hands will go up and say, well,
Okay.
shouldn't it be 250?
They always ask you if it's enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, and then the long-winded one.
Yes.
Property taxes are due 30 days from the generation of the bills and become late after that date. Taxes not paid by November 1st are delinquent. Postmarks, parentheses, not metered mail, are accepted, close parentheses.
So here's where we're going to have an issue with this, and I don't know if we should be the ones that bring it up or not, but the way the post office is working these days, mail is postmarked not in the town that it actually originates from, but can be places like Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to Hartford.
And so if you are waiting till the last minute and you're relying on a postmark, you may not get it, even if normally it would have been in time. So I don't know how we address that, if it's our responsibility to let people know that. I don't know, but it's a fact. I mean,
Is this where we were going to discuss the credit card thing too?
well, we had an issue with the credit card.
Yeah.
That's been resolved though, right?
Well,
We haven't had another problem with that?
No,
but
no.
Well, the question is, have you solved the problem?
Well, so remember it came up at the
I'm not
Board of
sure we did.
Abatement?
I think we just let it go. I mean,
We know what the problem is, and
Is.
we know what the fix is.
okay.
It's just a communication with the taxpayer when you try to
Okay.
make two payments.
Yeah.
It's, in the years we've had the credit card, it's happened twice,
Okay.
and one was resolved because the taxpayer
All right.
helped.
I just want to make sure
Yeah,
we,
paid in time, yeah.
that there's a rule so that we don't have to,
Yeah.
there's no gray
Yeah,
area.
I'm less concerned about that
Okay.
than people dropping their mail in on November 1st,
And thinking
expecting
they're
it to
gonna-
be post-dated
Right.
at Waitsfield when it's not going to get
Yeah,
post-dated.
you almost got to go inside, right, and get it stamped. That's
Yes.
what they're saying.
That's what it
And
boils
I
down
think
to.
that's a discussion that should be had.
Right.
At town meeting. And
Yes.
it's going to go, I'm going to put it in the flyer, in the tax bill, I'm going to make it clear.
That's what it is, yeah.
Every MailChimp we send out about taxes, I'm going to make it clear.
Yeah, and the onus is on the taxpayer.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
mean, it
best.
has to be, it's not,
It comes down
we're
to-
not moving the
I mean,
dates
more
or,
word of mouth, the better.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best you can do.
So we should have that discussion, Rick, and maybe just bring it up and see where it takes us from the floor.
Okay.
But there could be real problems that
And
people,
maybe Sarah could speak to it. Well, we could have Doug speak to it on your behalf.
Well, that'll just extend the meeting.
No, but we could bring it up
We
as
could- we could-
as a discussion
we could
point
bring
to
it.
the article.
Yes.
yes,
I think
Glad to
we
do
should.
that.
We could do that.
yeah,
I'm going to mark this for discussion.
yeah,
Chuck can do
yeah.
that.
Instead of instead of
No, I
rushing to
think
vote.
Sarah's-
Just pass the buck to
She's
Chuck.
shy.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it. We can
We
make,
should.
we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make something happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow we'll make it happen.
I'm
Okay.
better at writing things.
And it's probably worth saying every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
no?
Agreed.
Because there's
Yeah.
new people every year, and
And it's,
Yeah.
and every time someone makes a payment from their own bank account, the envelope comes with no date on it at all. And I say it,
right?
still, come use the e-check thing from.
Why don't we just stop accepting postmarks?
Well, that's another discussion that could be had.
Well, that could take.
Why not just say we have to receive it by the date due?
That's
Yeah.
a discussion
Well,
for the town to have.
Maybe that
Well,
will come up on the floor.
That may be where it's headed, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And that's a month after they're due.
So included in Article 11 is a second question. There's a statement. There's no needing to vote on the statement. That's the town policy,
Yeah.
correct? Unless
Yes.
someone wants to modify it, amend it.
Correct.
But the article itself reads, shall November 1st, 2026 remain the date that taxes become delinquent?
Yeah, and they can vote on that after the discussion.
Yes,
Right, so,
exactly, right.
Now you know that
Right.
if you're relying on postmarks, this could be a big
Right,
issue.
yeah.
Do you want to change that,
Policy.
November 1 or
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, it wouldn't change much.
No,
People that are late are going to be late.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to,
yeah,
So it's an article about two things. One is the current policy, and the other is, are we sticking with that?
yes,
Yeah, the date.
Yeah.
November 1st, as opposed to October, September.
Yeah.
So if someone brings up the date that they're due while we're discussing the postmarks issue, they have to hold that until we get to that.
Correct, yeah.
There's two parts to this.
yeah,
Yeah, okay?
yep,
That may help some of you decide when to speak up.
yep,
Article 12 is on the second page.
yep.
Total of budget, I'm not even going to try and read those numbers. Oh, maybe I can. $2,122,025.54.
Yeah.
which are your taxes, and I think those add up. And if somebody calls and says they don't add up,
Well, and this is when Mike will do the financial presentation.
Okay.
Under this article.
okay. And is that also, we were going to run, they got a handout, they were going to look at the numbers with you?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's right in here.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay, I only got 2 pages. I'm just the
Oh,
mom.
yeah. Didn't you get your town report? Yeah.
I have a wife, and she has a time. I bet. I've been out of town a lot.
Check with her.
I will check, yeah. I bet we do, yeah. That's embarrassing, good. So we'll work through the finances. Anything to discuss about that here?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Right? No.
Okay. Just matter of Robert's rules, you're welcome to make the motion, and anyone who's on the select board, or anyone in the audience can second it for discussion. And in all the years, I've never heard someone not get a second for a motion, so well, that should work out fine.
Okay.
Anything else on authorizing the funds? Article 12? Article 13?
Those are both Australian ballot, so it's nothing even, I don't know why we did that.
Why isn't it an
I don't know
article?
Why we vote on it.
Sure. I'm not sure. It's.
No, that's, I think, just to announce it and remind people where the ballot boxes are and if they didn't vote on the way in.
Yeah, because it's not a floor vote.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's Australian ballot. The issue could be for us to see what we can do about finding someone to run for the office.
Well,
We've had some difficulty.
I don't know that you can have that discussion because there's
You
an
can't.
election happening.
And you-
Okay.
and they can't be inside the polling place saying they have to stand
Right.
outside.
There can be no
okay.
campaigning.
So it can't
inside
really be
the
any
building.
discussion.
yeah.
So is there a way to remind taxpayers in advance that they should look around for people that are willing to serve if we can't have the discussion?
Well, I
The
think,
article comes up.
Langford Davidson has announced that he was running, I think, for Mike's bishop's position.
And there's been another one too.
Yes, and there's somebody else, but she hasn't, I haven't seen her announce anything publicly, so I don't know.
No.
On an
I
Australian
think they can
ballot.
also just wait, if no one's elected, they can be appointed by the district.
By the district,
Yeah.
right? And I know there's some interest, so.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Encourage them to do a front porch forum post if they want to
Yeah.
have a campaign.
Could they stand up at town meeting and announce?
No.
No,
They can't.
not inside.
Oh,
No,
because
the
there's
only
no. yeah,
people
you
that can
can't
stand
campaign.
up are the people that are
Yeah.
already
On the-
elected to,
Yeah.
and they can't talk about the budget either.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just because it's a ballot. Because it's a paper ballot.
Yeah,
Not from the
that's
floor.
right. Okay.
Right? I can't talk about the
The
budget.
ballot box is already open when they walk in the door.
Yes.
What's
So
happening?
the point is if someone, to have a good school board, we need to have good school board reps, and it's good to get those ahead of time saying, I want to run and get their names on the ballot.
Yes.
What's it take to get on the ballot, Sarah? Just come into the office and,
It's too late to get on the
It's too late
ballot.
to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
For the position that isn't mentioned there, no name mentioned, it's a write-in campaign.
okay. So if anyone's interested in the sort of problems we've had at the last minute trying to find someone, now would be a good time to recruit because we've only got a week left.
Yeah.
If there's someone showed an interest, make sure they get reminded of their interest.
Yeah.
They can be appointed after the election,
Okay.
so it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world. if we
But
don't vote.
not if somebody who's not really interested in the job jumps in and takes the seat at the election. So that's why
But on an Australian ballot, it's going to be tough if you don't announce. I'm sure nobody knows what name to put down on there, you know.
no, we
Win
need.
with 6 votes.
They have to have a
Yeah.
1% or something, they have to have 10 or 12 votes. It's
Yeah,
not much,
yeah.
but it's
And all
more than a couple of names.
all you'd have to do is stand outside the door, there's a rule,
Yeah.
and hand out a paper with your name on
They have to
it.
stand a certain distance away from
Yeah.
the door,
Yeah.
it's not.
And you could do it.
So that's,
They
yeah, it's out of our
honestly just
control, really.
ask their
Right.
friends to write on their name.
Article 14 is the same, except it's for the other position on the school board.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought I heard that Rebecca did not want to run again, but I just heard that. That doesn't make it.
No, she's not.
She's not.
She's not.
So we've got 2 openings.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Correct.
But
And-
one person, there is a name on one of the ballots.
Yes.
Oh,
And I think that's the ballot for Mike Bishop's position,
It's
right?
whichever one is the longer term. Is it Mike's? It ends in-
It doesn't
Doesn't
say.
say.
It doesn't say. I think it
The
is.
ballot says.
I think it is,
The ballot
yeah.
that, there's a name on one of the ballots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he announced in advance.
okay.
This one here, the other one I'm thinking of, asked on the day that they would have had to have actually had their paperwork in.
Okay.
So it couldn't have happened.
Yeah. If there's a name that's interested, that person just needs to gather 10 or 15
Yeah,
friends and say,
10,
bring my
yeah,
name in.
yeah.
That's all they need.
What's your deadline to take names for the ballots?
It's passed.
Passed, okay,
Yeah,
we're done, okay, got
January
it.
sometime.
Okay, that's what you said, passed, got it,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Gone.
Anything else on those two empty school director positions?
Nope.
Okay, how about Article 15?
Well, I noticed when I got my town report and read through it again, the one thing we didn't put on there that we probably should have is the location.
That was done intentionally
Okay,
2 or 3 years ago.
so we could be
When-
flexible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think we were supposed to have it here, and then we wanted to move it to a school, but we couldn't
Oh, I
just do
remember
that.
that.
So
Yes.
we had to have a special meeting here.
Yep.
Right.
To then move it to the school. So it has been suggested that we not put a
No,
location.
not the location, okay,
So you can.
okay.
Determine where the location is.
So there it is,
Without
we
having a
we
special-
skipped it at the beginning of the, right?
Right.
Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, 9:30.
Yep.
You'd like people there by, say, 10 or 10:30.
Yep.
Which, will there be any refreshments available during the meeting? And is there going to be a town lunch after the meeting? I haven't heard any
I
sign of it.
believe the PTO is providing coffee and donuts for the morning.
Okay,
I believe your wife is organizing the potluck.
well, she certainly has in the past and usually at the last minute, and so here we are.
I believe.
They do, it usually comes together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get home, just look for that person with the town report.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, yeah.
She'll have all the other information you need.
I'm surprised, we've got other problems we're working on this week, so this is next week, so
Gotcha.
that may be why she hasn't. Or it could be the ball's been dropped, it is possible. Probably not, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, well. Anything else we didn't cover going
No.
over this?
I think that's it.
Please ask people to announce their names clearly when they want to speak. And if anyone, especially people making motions or seconding,
Okay, yeah.
because, you know, Maddie and I afterwards are just trying to scramble. Who said that? Who's this?
Right. So I've
It's-
tried to help with that when you turn to me and say, who is that? And I sometimes know, but sometimes we have to just say, could you repeat your name louder so the secretary can?
Yeah, yeah, because otherwise I'll be asking you that
Yeah.
every moment. I mean, I do know a number of people, but
Just the ones you don't know.
Yeah.
No, I can understand that. I'll do my best to take the cue from either of you that we need the name for the record. And if I don't get it right away, we can just get it late by just saying, but before we vote on it, we need the name. Who made that motion? Saying, what's your name again?
Yeah.
If I have to do that.
because I don't believe this meeting is being recorded, right? It's not on Zoom. It wasn't last year.
No, Mad River TV will usually record the meeting, but I don't think we had it on Zoom last year. No.
I don't think we had it at all last year.
Yeah,
Did we?
I think so.
There was a
I
camera
don't
there.
remember.
Yeah, I think Mad River TV had
Sometimes it's
it.
probably hard to hear that too,
No, it's,
with that big,
It's very hard to
big
hear.
group. I mean,
Yeah.
here, it's easier.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
no, their mission's to record stuff like this. I mean, if anything's of interest to everybody in the whole town, it's town meeting day.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
I'll stop by. He's right down the sidewalk from me. I'll check in and at least we'll know.
Good.
Maybe he might be having trouble getting volunteers. Maybe
Yeah.
someone's paid him not to do Fayston.
I don't think it'll happen.
A lot of maybes, okay.
All right.
Any other
Good?
suggestions, questions? We good?
I think we are.
Okay. You don't need me for the rest of your meeting, do you?
No, sir, thank you for coming by. We'll see you next Tuesday.
This is much easier to do here than on Zoom from Florida, so.
Oh,
Does anyone know how to get to Florida right now?
probably not.
Yeah. No, probably not. It's been true for 2 days, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think all the airports are
Yeah.
struggling now on the East Coast.
I may fly out of the capital of New York State, so
Oh.
I don't want to say the word.
There you go.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, take care.
See ya.
We'll see
Okay.
you next Tuesday, if not before.
Yep,
Stay tuned.
sounds good. All right, moving right along, we've got, the next item is to sign the bond bank documents, which Sarah has.
Lots of little stickers on them.
And
So,
you did send that, just so everybody knows, you did send that out
Did
to
you
us
guys
to
have any
review
questions?
before the meeting, so I think everybody had a chance to take a look at it. And
Yep.
all right, so I don't know what the simplest way is, because there are some pages that just you sign, there's some
Right.
that these guys sign. So we can just go.
It's your personal guarantee.
Okay, so this one requires all of us.
Yep.
And this is, again, for the people back home, essentially it's to extend our bond bank loan beyond the first year that we had, so that we can cover
The blues?
expenses that come up during the year that FEMA may be late in paying us for, so that's what this is all about.
We have to take the funds, is that right?
We already have the funds.
We haven't,
Yeah.
even if
There's
we don't,
no,
there's
this,
no like line of credit kind of thing, it's like.
well,
all
this is the loan that we got last year, so we
Yeah.
already have the funds.
Yeah.
So in this case, there's no transfer of funds, we're just not paying it back on March 1st. So you sign there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
That's you up
Thank you.
there.
All right, so this is another one that you sign, everybody signs.
Okay. Moving right along.
You sign.
As they're duly authorized.
Yep.
It's funny how it says wrong graves in my door.
You sign.
It's hilarious, this guy that works for me on and off. It's Tim Sabo. And, you know, like
So
health and safety
this,
meetings and all that
this
stuff.
was
and
the
we do
one
these big
that,
projects and
these
all
are
that. So
authorized
it's
representatives.
Timothy, or-
Right.
It's like, no,
Maddie and I
just Tim.
were them last year, but since Maddie can't sign, it should probably be one of you three.
Yep.
It's just in name who can speak to this loan, so.
Is that the personal guarantee that Chuck signs?
I think I've already signed my life away.
They're basically, you're saying who's a representative to act on behalf of Fayston with regards to this loan. And it should probably be more than just me. It should be at least
Yeah.
one of you guys.
And Maddie was on before,
Yeah.
so if you don't mind, I
I think
Yeah.
can do that for the select board.
Yep.
It just
Yeah.
requires a signature, so
Yeah.
Maddie, since she's not here, so if you want to fill your name in there
Yeah.
and then sign there and at the bottom.
Oh, and again,
Yep,
I can authorize myself.
you can.
It's like buying a house.
It's worse.
It's worse, you don't get anything.
Thank you for pointing that out.
This one is all three of you again. There you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, there must be government involved in here.
Yeah, a little bit of red tape.
Yeah.
That's for you.
That's me.
That's me. That's That's me. And I think that's it. So again, this is another, you need to fill this part out and sign.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys are done signing. And Chuck's just got that.
Oh. One more. You told me there would be no more.
And that's it. You've signed your life away.
Oh, my goodness. All right. All right. We are now the proud owners of $360,000.
67.
Okay, next item is just to ratify the decision we made last meeting not to roll over the CD at Northfield Savings Bank. So I'd make a motion to ratify that decision.
I'd second that.
Mike, second. We all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, so that is ratified. The discussion on the LOTs, maybe we could jump to other business so that Josh doesn't have to stay here for everything else. So if you want to give us an update now
Yeah.
on what's been happening the last couple of weeks and
Yeah, we've been dealing with weather, taking care of it as it comes. Still haven't got any salt. I have a little bit left that we're kind of trying to use very little to get by because I don't know if we're going to get any more or not. I ordered some January 28th and haven't seen it. So doing that. Downtime, we're in the shop, rebuilding buckets, stuff like that, getting ready for the upcoming spring. Pushing back snowbanks on certain areas, south facing, stuff that gets a lot of sun that starts to run water, trying to get that shut off the road, get rid of that ice ridge on the edge. Not a whole lot.
plow, busted up plow blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Had a plow fall apart. It's 9 years old. It's had its abuse. Unfortunately, it wasn't planned, that's for sure. So
yeah.
had to order a new one.
Yeah, and that's
What's the timing on that?
It's a couple weeks.
at about 12 grand, you said, right? In that
Roughly.
vicinity, yeah, to replace that. So, I mean, nothing we can do about that.
Got to buy a new chainsaw. I got Leo's small engine from Morrisville stopping by Friday. He's bringing lunch. And a couple chainsaws for us to look at. I want to get the guys' opinions and bring them in on it, see what they think. We got a bunch of trees we got to take down that have been marked on sharpshooters and on center Fayston that we're going to take down. We're not removing them, we are just dropping them. So I need to speak with some of the landowners I know, some I don't know. I know easements were sent out, but the ones that aren't around here I don't think are gonna see what's marked. So, and the landowners that are, I can reach out to and make sure.
Is this for the culverts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see a bunch of orange tape. Tyler Billingsley marked them. So,
Okay.
And do we have signed easements for those, or some of them? No?
Not yet.
not yet.
The drafts have gone out to all the property owners. One guy has come back with some requests, which Jim is trying to address. One of the requests needs Tyler, and he's on vacation until Monday. Don't think we've heard from anybody else.
Is that the one that wanted to talk to me about the curb cut? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we dodged a bullet the other day.
Yeah. Sure did.
That's a good thing. Has anybody heard from Maddie as to how her flight back is gonna be?
Haven't heard about her flight back. She said her flight Her drive there was a little hairy
Oh, yeah, yeah.
to Boston, but haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, and she's supposed to fly back tomorrow, right? Yeah.
Where is
Fingers
she?
crossed.
Florida,
Yeah, and she's flying into Boston?
I believe so. I think they left a vehicle down there, so
Yeah, yeah.
Good luck.
hopefully it's undercover.
Yeah. Well, it is undercover.
One way or the other.
It's covered down.
So yeah, no, we're moving forward around the shop, trying to get things buttoned up. I had to order a new lower garage door panel. It got damaged. I went through Limoges, who replaced the door originally. To get a panel, that's going to be, after install, roughly about $1,000. I had to put up a sign at the salt shed for what little salt we do have for town use only, because people been taking it.
Really?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I put a sign up,
Okay.
had one made.
Individuals or?
Individuals.
Okay, because we had a situation not too many years ago where they were filling pickup trucks.
Well, people that own tractors that live nearby and anywhere around, whether it's near our gravel pit or our town shed, tend to come over with tractors and take stuff, but I've tried to speak with them individually and just let them know that if you want to get 5-gallon buckets for sand here and there, that's fine, but I don't put up enough sand to sand your driveway for the winter. We just don't.
Yeah.
But they've all been cordial about it, so.
Okay, well, that's a good first step.
Yeah.
That was one. What's our policy on people leaving their cars on roads?
We can tow them, but it's finding a company to tow them.
Yeah. Because that one on Bragg was ridiculous.
It was.
It was there for days. I had to continuously check it even when I didn't have to be out working,
Yeah.
just to make sure I could get rid of snowbanks when they moved their car.
Yeah. It was pointed downhill.
I mean, I had a lot of vehicles
How you turn it around now?
come into town that day when it started snowing, and it didn't accumulate much at first until late evening. And every restaurant, every place in town was packed, which is great for them, I get it, but then they all have to try to get where they're going, and we don't work around the clock.
Yeah.
Right.
So they typically tend to leave them either in the middle of the road or in our turnarounds or pull-offs where we need to turn our trucks around.
Yeah.
And it gets pretty hairy when you're trying to back through a snowbank to avoid a car to try to get turned around on something like Old Mansfield Road where there's not a lot of room.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But we managed, no cars got hit, so that was good. Eventually they move their vehicles and we clean it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hate to have to tow their vehicles and then come out and be like, where'd my car go? You know, you come here to recreate and everything. I hate to do that.
Right.
But some situations,
Doesn't happen at
it
times.
becomes a safety thing.
Yeah.
Depending on where the car is. If they leave it on a corner or on the top of a hill or over a hill, it's like,
Yeah.
I can't leave it there.
Yeah.
It's gonna cause an accident. We do have flyers or papers that we had printed up that have our parking regulations in town from a certain date to a certain date. I can put it on cars, whether they abide by it or not. Usually they're already parked in the way, so.
The reason you know that.
I mean, there's been situations where people continuously park there, and I put a flyer on it and they still do it, but usually we can work around them.
Okay. Anything
All right.
else?
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good night.
Thank you,
I'll
Josh.
just
Yeah.
get some sand on this driveway tomorrow. It melted down a little bit today and froze back up once it got dark, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
great.
And it was pretty cold out there. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you, Jeff.
Okay, I guess the next item is just a general discussion on LOTs, local option taxes, and The reason I wanted to put it on there, a couple of things. First of all, to find out if we're interested at all in pursuing local option tax for the town, because it's going to take some work in order to do that if we had any sincere interest. And first of all, we don't have any documentation from the tax department because we don't have enough businesses to meet the threshold where they can give you the data. And the reason for that is they figure if you're below that threshold, it'd be easy to find out where the tax revenues are coming from because there's so few businesses.
Yeah.
So the first hurdle would be to go to the tax department to try to get them to change that ruling to at least let us know what potential revenue there may be for us there if we do decide to go with an LOT. And now I think we all saw the information that came out. There's now a second LOT that's being proposed that the towns could take advantage of, that the money would go directly to the transportation department. So there's really two LOTs that towns could look at. Well, one is being voted on by the legislature, the transportation one. So that was item number one. The other item is if Waitsfield passes their local option tax, and Sarah's the one that brought this up to us, people who live in the 05673 zip code would have to pay the taxes on, well, first of all, businesses would have to register with the Treasury to let the tax department to let them know that although they have that zip code, they are physically located in Fayston. So there's forms they could fill out so their business would not have to collect the tax. But right now, if you're a resident and you order things online, it's a kludgy system to try to get your reimbursement. There's a reimbursement form that you can fill out to get money back from the Treasury. But, I mean, that's putting people through quite a process for online purchases. There's some talk about maybe if you use the 9-digit zip code with, the 5 digits plus an extension, they may be able to identify the location as Fayston. That hasn't been proven yet. The City of Essex and Essex Junction are going through all of this stuff right now. They're sending stuff back to the tax department and trying to get things clarified. But so that one about the 9-digit zip code hasn't been clarified yet. So Waitsfield's looking at all this stuff. They're trying to find a solution to all of this stuff, but it's going, I think initially at least, impact some of our residents that live in that zip code.
So why wouldn't the state just make a 7% tax and give every town their share of it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what it had a beginning for certain towns to get the LOT,
Yeah.
and now they've opened up to everybody, so why not? I mean, there's no way to...
Yeah, we have taxes in each one of those things already. It's just they don't have the gumption to just increase a tax.
And so they're
pushing it to the
looking for the
municipality.
local towns to raise their tax to give them money.
Yeah.
And I just don't see, even if Fayston, you saw my comment, I don't know if I'm for it or against it, I really don't know.
Yeah.
If we don't know what the value is, how can you decide?
Well, exactly.
If it's $7,000, no. If it's $700,000, well, it's a discussion.
Yeah.
But they can't, if Fayston adopted it, we wouldn't get any money.
Not this.
It would have to be just the businesses, nothing to do with online purchasing, which is a large amount.
When you say we don't get any money, it's so people back home would understand, because our zip codes are either in Moortown or Waitsfield.
We don't have a Fayston zip
So
code.
that we don't have a Fayston zip code, so the way the system is set up.
Or if we have it, do we get all the stuff from Moortown?
Right. So that's, and we're not the only town like that.
No.
There's other, I
Many.
mean, what?
There's many.
Yeah.
Waterbury.
Yeah.
So Duxbury.
Waterbury, Duxbury.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just think it's ill thought out.
I
Yeah.
agree. And the interesting thing in the comments that I've seen come up about implementing it in Waitsfield, it just becomes, oh, this is more money to spend.
And I know that's the way you feel, and it is somewhat true.
And it's...
it is.
I mean, I think if Fayston were to do it, the receipts need to just go right against the budget. You mean no increase? You mean whatever we take in, we it's like the reserve.
So
I mean, it's just...
Does anyone want to take a guess I have an idea how much Waitsfield's going to get from the LOT.
So the estimate is anywhere from 600,000
Right.
to 800,000.
They're at 600, so that's the low
Yeah.
end of
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
You know, to a town like Waitsfield, that's a hard thing to pass up.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's going to Waitsfield.
correct. If they
Correct.
implement the
Okay.
local option tax, yes.
The state keeps what percent?
I think it's 25% in that
And that's
case.
the way they're getting 25% of a
25%
percent.
Yeah.
Quarter of a percent of sales tax.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It would be interesting to see if that calculation for Waitsfield is including Sugarbush and Mad River Glen in them.
Probably not, because I would assume they would understand that those businesses would realize that they don't have to charge the tax. So I
But
would assume.
If it was just by zip code,
But it's not, you can say from a bookkeeper side, when you remit your sales tax,
yeah.
if you're in Duxbury and you know that you didn't have to collect it, you say, I attest that I did not have to collect
So
this lot.
Right, but the calculations that the planning commission is
Oh,
running off
yes,
of
could-
were not those.
I would
They
like to
are,
assume that they were.
yeah, I don't know. Because they haven't remitted them, because they don't have them now.
Because if I were Mad River Glen, I'd be like, I'm not in Waitsfield.
And that's probably why they-
Right, but
So,
because they're basing it on historical
Yeah.
taxes, that
That's true, 'cause
wouldn't
they're not-
be an issue, I mean, they wouldn't have been collected in the
right, because
past.
they're
Yeah.
lumping all the
Yeah.
zip
And
codes
and that's
together.
probably why they
Yeah.
can't give Fayston any data.
Yeah,
Well-
oh,
That's what-
exactly.
That's what I wonder, if when they say we don't have enough businesses, or is it simply just the zip code issue?
I think it's the
Because we
data.
don't have a lot of businesses.
They would have to.
But we do have some big ones.
But we do have
They
some
would
big
have to
ones.
go to Sugarbush North, or, because that's where the tax is collected, or Mad
Mad River
River,
Glen.
or the B&Bs, or Mad River Barn. They
They
would
have
have to
B&Bs?
ear tag, certain businesses to
Yeah.
actually come up with a number.
Yeah,
No, I mean the Airbnbs, they have to collect the tax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And if I
Like
remember.
the LOT, in addition to meals and lodging?
I
Ye-
think
yes.
so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of Airbnbs in Fayston that probably aren't going to be aware of the fact that they don't have to collect the tax.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But there's-
and honestly, some people wouldn't care. It's not costing them a dime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you're saying the online ordering, people who live in that Waitsfield zip code have to pay the LOT to Amazon?
Yes.
Correct?
Well, Amazon is,
Amazon will bill you for it.
Amazon will
Amazon
know
is
that that
required
zip
to collect
has to
it.
be added to that.
Right.
yes,
And so what you're saying is the Fayston residents who live within that zip have no way
well,
to say that, well, we don't have to pay this.
so that's where the 9-digit zip code could come in, that may help to identify, that hasn't been proven
I don't
yet.
know how that can happen.
And the other
Yeah.
thing is a form that you can complete to get reimbursed for purchases, but that seems like a big bother to
Yeah.
put
I
people
mean,
through.
the post office can't even sort mail, let alone.
They can't postmark it, how are they gonna?
There's some issues. There's some issues.
I mean, I'm not trying to be facetious, but it's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they
it
gonna
is.
figure that out?
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, no. So I don't know that there's anything that we can do about it. I don't want to go after the tax department to find out what revenue we have if we're not even interested in doing anything about it.
I think we just gotta wait and see,
Yeah,
but it's gonna be unfortunate for some people.
yeah,
They're gonna be paying or trying to get their money back or whatever it is.
yeah, that's my issue too. And I talked to the folks in Waitsfield who are on the LOT committee, and they're thinking if it gets approved at town meeting, then it'll get implemented around July 1st.
They can go that fast.
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. So it's out there, people listening,
Yeah.
just to make everybody aware of what
Yep.
is happening out there. All right, so just a discussion, we don't need to make
Yep.
any decisions on that? Okay. Excess weight permits are the next thing on the agenda.
So those are the ones that yours.
So we have DeMag Riggers and Crane Service, Gillespie Fuels, Rice Lumber, Sunbelt Rentals, and Swan Site Work. So I'll sign all those if everyone's good with that.
Yep.
All right. Like I haven't signed enough already. Maybe I'll get a stamp with my signature on it. What do we got? 5 of them here.
You need the list of.
I have it, thank you.
Oop,
Yeah.
I think
no,
I'm
that is
missing
it.
something there, Sarah.
1, 2, 3. Rice, Gillespie, DeMag,
Sunbelt.
Sunbelt, where's Swan? Oh. Oh, there it is.
Swan flew away.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. All right. Thank you. All right, next item that we added under other business was the Boyce Hill trees.
I didn't know if you needed that, so I just.
Okay. And a discussion on that. It seems like we all decided we should just take the trees down because there's a potential risk. We had our insurance company go up there, the adjusters, and take a look at it. They recommended we have them taken down too. So I guess someone had spoken to fire.
David
Yeah.
Frank, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they're able to do that, so I think we should go ahead and have the trees taken down.
Definitely.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, okay, I don't think we need an official vote, we're all in agreement.
Yes.
So, who should we let know, David?
Yeah.
He's gonna arrange
Yeah.
that? Yeah, so could you or Maddie just make sure that he knows that, and we'll get rid of the potential liability. All right, nothing else under other business anyone has? Then I guess we
Good.
can read the mail, sign the warrant, and I'll pass that along, Mike. What's that?
There's nothing in here, so I'm guessing there's no mail.
Oh, okay. And this is a report from the insurer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if you guys.
Yeah, we got that in the packet, right?
I
Yes.
emailed it to you today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So-
Just because it just came in today.
Recommendation, middle smaller trees show signs of deterioration, should be cut, or cut all 3 trees to eliminate the possibility of falling on adjacent landowners' property. So that's what we're gonna do.
Curiosity, in the budget, where does that fall?
Well, I was going to ask you guys that question. It's a Boyce Hill.
Boyce
tree.
Hill, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Town Forest
It
Reserve.
really is.
Town
Right.
Forest
Town
Reserve.
Forest Reserve, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that makes sense.
Sorry. Throwing that. Jeez.
Well, I'm glad you stayed, Sarah. I'll help with some of this other stuff toward the end here, like the bond bank stuff.
You're
and all
you're in
that, so-
training. Oh, dear.
Somebody's gonna keep us in line.
You guys
Well,
have
there
it.
really aren't a ton of payroll. It's really supposed to be payroll.
All right. Thank you.
Still in Williston?
We're back in beta.
bit more beta rated, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be tough. 1 degree.
Yeah, but it's going to warm up.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit.
It's like this morning, you know?
So, yeah, we have some young, really good young carpenters, you know, like 20-something, and they're into it. And we've taught them, and some of our guys
All
are
right,
going to
here you go,
teach.
Sarah.
Right, where they were
Thank you.
10 years ago, but now they're, yeah, we need these young guys.
Yeah.
But they don't mind. They don't mind. We
All right.
can't go to, you know.
Having no other business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.